Alright guys, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to attempt to make some elf ears and see how it turns out. Now, I made some Darth Maul horns and it worked out pretty good, so I'll get another video up on that. I just went to the local Hobby Lobby, picked up some poly clay, oven hardening, $5. And just take your clay, it's moldable, kind of stiff, but if you work at it for a while, it works out pretty good. So just take your clay, knead it out. I like to get it flat. Now you can just shape it into whatever horns or ears or whatever you want, but ears were a little harder for me, so what I did was I just took some clay, I draw out whatever basic design I wanted to have on the ears, then I just cut out the clay, just a generic little template. These are not, I've got some over there, I'll show you in a minute. So then take your ears. I like to take and of course make the impressions, indentions, have the ridges on the front and back of the ears. Take and smooth out your ears, get them the size, shape you want, hold them up to your head, what have you. And these are the two that I came out with. One for the right side and one for the left side. You can see that they're indented on the inside. And then I'll take and bake these and they'll harden, and then I can paint latex on it. So I'll show you that in a minute. Okay guys, this is what I had to do. I got my little elf ears, and since I want to coat the entire thing with latex, I suspended them from a string. That way I can coat all the way around them. This is going to be the piece where my ear fits in, so I'm not really going to have to worry about coating it. But this stuff doesn't stick really well to this clay the first time, so what you want to do is just put you a nice little coat all the way around and let it dry. Then you can go back and do multiple coats after multiple coats after multiple coats and so forth and so on. But the first coat is going to drip like crazy, or it has on me anyway. And you want a nice even coat. You really don't want a big lumpy here and lumpy there. I mean, these are going to be ears, hopefully, if it all works out. So you just want a nice thin little coat to go on. Now sometimes once the bottom layer starts drying and you try to do some brushing, it looks like it's going to pull it up. So sometimes you just have to dab, get the brush wet, and just dab you some latex on there. And probably what I'm going to have to do with these, since I've got to coat the entire thing, I'll probably have to get the blow dryer out so it will dry pretty quickly, and that way I can just keep putting coat after coat after coat on it. Because if not, I'm just going to lose all kinds of latex from it running. Just hopefully let this first coat dry. Like I said, try to get a nice even thin coat all the way around for your first coat. Smooth if possible. We'll let this dry. Okay, so I got my first decent coat on there. And then if you can see what I'm doing here, sometimes this sticks to your hand. You got to be careful. So I'm taking just a regular little sponge brush, soaking up what I can and just dabbing it all around, letting it run down, just trying to put an extra coat on. So I'm just trying to dab this on here. Got a nice little even coat all the way around, and it wants to of course run to the bottom or top or however which way you have it. So I'm just putting a decent little coat on here. Put this over my little cup so I try to catch it. Once you find a way it works, if you mess up, you could just peel it all off and start over, because these clay molds will be here. You know, you can use them over and over. So what I like to do is just rotate it to keep it from running. And hopefully with the hair dryer, and keep rotating it, I can get a nice little thick coat. And once it starts to harden and dry up, it's not going to run. So we'll do this over and over. I'll let that one hang and dry, and then I'll start on my next one. Alright guys, so I'm going to try this method as well. I just took and filled up a cup, basically a little bottle, latex. I can pour this back into the big latex bottle when I'm done. I'm just going to dip it in to about where it needs to be several times and try to get a nice little coat going here. Now I know it really needs to dry in between. We're going to go up 3 or 4 times, and then what I'm going to do is blow dryer on it and hope that we can get some nice decent coats on this thing. I want it pretty thick, so I can use it maybe over and over. Of course you don't want it too thick to where you're just wearing some big blob on your face or side of your head, but we're going to dip it a few times, put the hair dryer on it, see how it works out. Okay, so this thing should have had time to dry. What I did is I took and cut around the top edge to make it a smooth edge, peeled away the stuff on the top so I can pull this off. Now one thing you want to do is take you some talcum powder, baby powder, whatever, and put it on your latex product, because if not, it's going to stick to itself. And then you just take some kind of tool, spatula, screwdriver, I don't know, whatever, something easy, and just pry around to get it to unstick from the mold. Now I believe you should be able to just either unroll it, or we might be able to just pull it right off, but like there again, add some powder to the inside, so once you get it separated, it just comes right from the mold, real super easy. And put you some powder in there, so that way when you start peeling this thing off, it doesn't stick to itself, and it just came right off. Super simple. The next one here, put a little powder in it. Let's see if we can't get this thing to come off. There we go. This one went inside out, but since it's got the powder, it won't really stick to itself. I can just fix it back. So this is my latex ears. Maybe I'll do a video of trying to glue these things on. I would probably suggest putting something inside, like a little bit of cotton or something, just to keep it a little rigid, so it doesn't just fall over or collapse. But there we go, my elf ears.